Hello, welcome to Python series tutorial. In previous videos, we talk about the basic concepts and theoretical aspect of Python, and we downloaded Anaconda Navigator and how to use Jupyter Notebook. This is third video. You can check the other two videos. Now, let's write our first Python code. Print hello world. You can click run to run the code, or you can press shift enter. Now, print is a function in Python and is used to output a message on the screen. So this is a function in Python, and this is the string message. Okay, now here, because we are dealing with a string or a text, you're supposed to put the text between a quotation, double quotation mark, or it can be single quotation mark like print. Then you bring the single quote and then hello world. Okay, now you cannot mix the two. For example, print hello world, then you bring double quotes and single quote, right? It doesn't work in this way. You'll be getting what error. And now let's talk about indentation in Python. Indentation refers to the space at the beginning of a code line. Python uses indentation to indicate a block of code. Let's take this example. If 5 is greater than 2, print 5 is greater than 2. Okay, now the indentation is the space before the print. This is a function. This is a conditional statement. And anytime you are writing a conditional statement or a function, indentation is very important. We will talk about functions later. Now, Python will give you error when you skip the indentation. For example, let me copy this and let me paste it here, right? And I'll skip the indentation. See that here I'm getting an error. Now, let's talk about comments in Python. Comments is very important in programming language. Right? Comments can be used to explain Python code. The same comment can also be used to make the code more readable. Comments start with a hashtag sign, and Python will ignore them when running the code. So for example, this is a comment. Then I'll come here and say print hello world. Then I'll run the code. You see that here, the comment here helps you to. Now, the comment explain the code. Okay, Now, a comment does not have to be a text that explains a code, but it can also be used to prevent Python from executing the code. Okay, for example, let's say print hello world, and I'll also say print welcome to Python. Good. Now we have what? We have two codes here, right? We have hello world and welcome to Python. Let's say that I wanted to execute one of these codes here. Good. So here I'll comment the first one out. Then I'll run the code. Now, the comment has prevent Python from running this particular code. Now let's move on to the multi-line comment. Python does not really have a syntax for multi-line comment. So to make a multi-line comment in Python, for example, let's say a comment in Python. This is a multi-line comment, right? You can also write this as triple quote, then in between the triple quote you type this. This is a multi-line comment. Now this is how you write a multi-line comment. If you wanted to write a more descriptive comment, you use this triple quote. Variables. Variables are containers for storing a data values. Python has no command for declaring a variable. A variable is created the moment you assign a value to it. For example, let's say x is equal to 5. So here we have store the data value, which is 5, into x. So I can run this code and come here and say print x. Then we know that 5 has been assigned to x. So print x means that we are printing 5. Another example, y is equal to John. You run it and here you say print y. See that John has been assigned to what? To y. So print y means you are printing what? John out. Now you can get a data type of a variable with the function type. For example, we wanted to know the data type of this variable y. Okay, so here you say print type y. We know that here the data type of the y is string. Let's also do the same thing for x. So you say print type x. Now you know that Here, the data type of the x is what? Is integer. And the data type of y is string. Now, variable names are case sensitive. For example, if I say A is equal to 4, and I also say A, but this one I will say capital A also equal to 4. Now, this small a and capital A are not the same. It's two different variables. Let me change this 4 to, let's say, 5. And let me come here and say print A. See that here it has printed the first variable, which is small a. And let me also print capital A. It's giving me what? 5. Meaning that in Python, variables names are case sensitive. A variable name can have a short name like X and Y, or more descriptive name like age, surname, total, and so on. A variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character. For example, let's say underscore A equals to, let's say, 100. I'll say print underscore A. Good. A variable name cannot start with a number. For example, if I say, let's say 3A equal to, let's say, 200, I'll be getting what? Syntax error. But I can write it as A3. It will run successfully. I'll say print A3. I'm getting 200. A variable names are case sensitive. For example, age equal to, let's say, 14, and age equal to, let's say, 20, and age equal to, let's say, 30. These variables here are three different variables. These are legal variable names, and these are illegal variable names. Now let's take examples for basic arithmetic operations. So let's take this. Let's write Python programming for arithmetic operations. So let's start with addition. So addition with two numbers. Now let's make a comment here and say addition. Addition, that's the comment. Good. Now here, let's create a variable called num1 is equal to, let's say, 20. Num1 equal to 25, and num2 also equal to, let's say, 30. Okay. Then let's add this together, right? So we say sum results is equal to num1 plus num2. Okay, then we come here to print the results out. Say now we are getting 55. Okay, now this results we can add more to it, right? We can modify these results. Okay, so let's add some text to it. Now let's use the f string to format the results. So here you say f sum, then we end it, we put it in the curly bracket, then we end it. Good. So the sum is what? Is 55. Now this f string here is a way of formatting a string in Python. It was introduced in Python 3. Now this is the variable, right? Sum results. So this is the variable here. We have called the variable in a print function here. Okay, and we know that the sum results is equal to num1 plus num2, and this num1 has been assigned with 50, 25, and then num2 has also been assigned with 30, right? And we have assigned num1 plus num2 to the results. So if I come here and say that sum results, I'm referring to what? Num1 plus num2, which is 25 plus 30. Now let's add more formatting. So here I can say that the results or the answer is, right, the answer is, this is the variable which is 55. So let me run the code, and here we have the answer is 55. Okay, now let's look at this formatting. Now we are still using the f string. Now in the f string, whenever you are calling a variable, so this is a variable which is num1, you use the curly bracket, and then between the inside the curly bracket you put your variable inside the curly bracket, right? So this is num1, and here we know that num1 is 25, and this is the 25, and this is num2 is what? 30, and this is the 30. So this is the comma, we have it here, and then the answer is, so this is the answer is, and then we have the sum results, and we know that the sum results is what? Is 55. Okay, so let's try the division. So here we make a comment here, division. Okay, then we create a variable. So then variable, let's make it div1 is equal to, let's say, 100, and div2 is equal to, let's say, 50, and we say that div results is equal to div1 divided by div2. Okay, then here we come here to print the result. Say print, then inside the print here we are calling this variable. Okay, so you see div underscore results, then here we are getting what? 2.
meaning that 100 divided by 50 will be what? Will be 2. Okay, then here the div1 is assigned to what? 100, and div2 also assigned to what? To 50. Okay, in our next example, we will ask a user to input a value using the input function. Now let's see this basic example. So let's create a variable called user underscore name equal to input function. So this is the input function. Then here we pass in a text or a string. Say enter your name. Then we say print name. Print user name. Okay, so let me add hello to it. It say hello. Okay, so let's run this code. Okay, I'm getting error when the error says syntax error. Okay, so I have to here the double, let it end it. So let me add this to it. Good. You see that enter your name. Then I'll enter my name Amos. Then press enter. And here you can see that hello Amos. Good. So we are coming to use this idea for our arithmetic operation, whereby the user will enter a value and then Python will do the calculation. Okay. Now let's see this example. This example is a addition of two numbers. We have a variable name here, value 1 and value 2. Good. And here we have assigned this to value 1, and you see that input enter the first number of addition, right? So the number you enter here must be a float, right? Float is a data type in Python, meaning that float is also the same as decimal. And we also have the value 2, and we have assigned this one to, that's the second value. And we create a variable here, sum resource. That means we are adding these two, right? Value 1 plus value 2. Okay, so let's try it. So if I type here, let's say 20, then I'll press enter. So that you see that enter the second number for addition. So this is the first number, the 20 I entered. So here I'll enter 30. That's the second number. I'll press enter. Here you can see that sum is 20.0 plus 30.0 equal to 50.0. And it's giving all this because of what? We specify the data type here as float. Okay, so we can change this data type to int, and also change here to int. Okay, then let me rerun the code again. Here you can see that enter the first value. So here I'll say 30, then I'll press enter. Then here I'll say 20. Now press enter. You see that here we have 30 plus 20 equal to what? Equal to 50. Okay, so this is a whole number. Okay, so let me rerun the code again. And here let me say 30.1. Press enter. So that here I'm getting error, right? So you see that value error, meaning that here the programming is expecting integer, but I have typed what? I have typed a float. The integer means a whole number, and here I have typed a decimal. So here I'll be getting error. Okay, so let me rerun the code again, and here let me type let's say 2, enter 5, and then here I'm getting 7. So this is the user input. Now Python has several built-in data type that define the kind of data you can work with, right? Example is a float, int, string, and so on. We will talk about data type in our next videos. Okay.